darling, let me take you back to a time when rainbows were hidden and love lived in the shadows. My name is Tamella Tanmore, and you may remember me as narrator and star of drag queen stories. Was Emperor Elagabalus gay? Watch that next. I haven't seen any scripts for future videos in that series. They're having the Emperor tell the stories in their own voice now. But if you miss seeing me on the silver screen, or at least your smart device, let the producer know in the comments below. I'm a fierce drag queen who has seen the evolution of our community from whispers in dark alleyways to the vibrant parades of Pride Month. I survived the Stonewall riots, and I stand here today as a testament to the resilience and strength of the LGBTQ+ community. Why do we have Pride Month? It's not just about the glitter, the parades, or the fabulous outfits, although, believe me, those are delightful. Pride Month is a living, breathing history book, a tribute to the struggle, the pain, and ultimately, the triumph of our community. It's a celebration of who we are, unapologetically and boldly. It's a time to remember the pioneers who fought tooth and nail for the freedoms we enjoy today, and to honor those who continue the fight. Pride Month stems from the Stonewall riots of 1969, a pivotal moment when we, the marginalized, the oppressed, decided enough was enough. We took to the streets, and our cries for justice echoed through the corridors of power. Pride Month is our declaration of existence, our statement that we will no longer be silenced or hidden away. It's about visibility, solidarity, love for ourselves, our partners, and our community. Each year, June is transformed into a rainbow of joy and remembrance. It's a reminder that while we celebrate our victories, we must also acknowledge the struggles that continue. So we dance. Pride is about educating the world on our history and our ongoing fight for equality. It's a beacon of hope for young LGBTQ+ individuals who are just finding their way, letting them know they are not alone and that they belong to a legacy of courage and resilience. In essence, Pride Month is the heart of our community. It's a time for reflection, celebration, and activism. It's about embracing our true selves and encouraging others to do the same. We march, we dance, and we speak out because we know that every step, every shout, and every act of love brings us closer to a world where everyone, regardless of who they are or whom they love, can live freely and authentically. So, my darlings, when you see those rainbow flags flying high, know that they represent more than just a colorful spectrum. They symbolize a rich history of defiance, resilience, and, above all, pride in who we are. Pride Month is our moment to shine, to educate, and to inspire. It's a celebration of our past, our present, and our hopeful future. And remember, every step we take in pride is a step toward a world where love knows no bounds. Oh, honey, sit tight and grab a martini, because we're diving into the murky waters of homophobia in America. Our journey to acceptance and equality has been fraught with heartache and resilience. Understanding the roots of this struggle is crucial to appreciating just how far we've come and recognizing the work that still needs to be done. Homophobia in America didn't sprout overnight. It's a tangled vine woven into the very fabric of our history. In the early days of colonial America, European settlers brought with them strict moral codes influenced by religious doctrines. Same-sex relationships were seen as sinful and unnatural, punishable by severe penalties, including death. The seeds of intolerance were planted early, and they took deep root. Fast forward to the 20th century, and you'd think we'd have learned a thing or two, but alas, homophobia was alive and kicking. The 1950s and 60s were particularly harsh, with the infamous Lavender Scare paralleling the Red Scare. Thousands of LGBTQ+ individuals were hunted down, fired from their jobs, and ostracized from society under the guise of protecting national security. The message was clear: to be gay was to be a threat. But we are nothing if not resilient. By the 1960s, the LGBTQ+ community began to push back. The Stonewall riots of 1969 marked a turning point. When police raided the Stonewall Inn, a gay bar in New York City, the patrons fought back. For 6 nights, protests and clashes erupted, igniting the modern LGBTQ+ rights movement. Stonewall wasn't just a riot, it was a declaration of defiance, a collective roar against oppression. The path to acceptance was paved with blood, sweat, and tears. The AIDS crisis of the 1980s and 90s brought another wave of discrimination and fear. Dubbed the gay plague, AIDS was met with apathy and disdain by the government and public. But in the face of such adversity, the community rallied together, raising awareness, funds, and compassion for those affected. Homophobia's roots are deep, but so is our determination. The fight against homophobia is not just about legal rights, it's about changing hearts and minds. It's about challenging the stereotypes and prejudices that have been ingrained in society for centuries. Through activism, education, and relentless courage, we've made significant strides. Laws have been changed, minds have been opened, and love has found its voice. However, the shadows of homophobia still linger, reminding us that the fight is far from over. As we look back on this painful history, we must remember that every act of courage, every protest, every tear shed was a step toward the freedom we cherish today. And so, we continue to fight, to educate, and to love fiercely, knowing that our history is not just a tale of suffering, but a testament to the unbreakable spirit of the LGBTQ+ community. Oh, darling, let's take a moment to bask in the glow of June 26, 2015, a day that glittered brighter than any disco ball. On this historic day, the United States Supreme Court struck down all state bans on same-sex marriage, making it legal in all 50 states. It was a moment of triumph, a victory of love over bigotry, and a resounding affirmation that love is love, no matter the gender. But before we dive into the celebrations, let's take a walk down the aisle of history. The fight for same-sex marriage didn't begin in a courtroom. It began in the hearts and minds of those who dared to dream of equality. For decades, LGBTQ+ couples faced legal and social barriers, denied the simple right to marry the person they loved. In the 1970s, as the LGBTQ+ rights movement gained momentum, the first legal challenges to marriage bans were filed. However, progress was slow, and setbacks were many. The 1980s and 90s saw a rise in activism, but also in opposition, with the Defense of Marriage Act, DOMA, in 1996 defining marriage at the federal level as a union between one man and one woman. It was a dark cloud over our rainbow, but we persisted. The early 2000s marked a turning point. Massachusetts became the first state to legalize same-sex marriage in 2004, sparking a wave of legal battles across the nation. Slowly but surely, states began to topple their bans, and public opinion shifted in favor of equality. The groundwork was being laid for a landmark decision. When the Supreme Court finally ruled in Obergefell v. Hodges in 2015, it was a day of unbridled joy. The decision was a culmination of years of struggle, pain, and relentless advocacy. For couples who had waited years, even decades, to marry, it was a moment of validation and triumph. Justice Anthony Kennedy, in his majority opinion, beautifully articulated the essence of the ruling: no union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice, and family. This ruling wasn't just about the right to marry. It was about the fundamental human right to love and be loved, openly and without fear. It was a recognition that our relationships are just as meaningful, our love just as deep, as anyone else's. It was a powerful statement that our rights are universal, not conditional on the whims of society. Celebrating this victory means more than just remembering a date. It means acknowledging the countless activists, lawyers, couples, and allies who fought tirelessly for this day. It's a reminder that when we stand together, our voices can bring about monumental change. Yet, even as we celebrated, we knew that the journey wasn't over. Legal recognition was a massive leap forward, but social acceptance and protection from discrimination still remain crucial battles to be won. We continue to fight for a world where our rights are not just written in law books but respected and upheld in every facet of life. June 26, 2015, is a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of love and the strength of our community. It reminds us that progress is possible, that equality is within reach, and that we must continue to fight for the day when every person, regardless of who they love, can live with dignity and respect. So, my darlings, let's keep the celebration alive, not just in our hearts, but in our actions, as we push forward toward a brighter, more inclusive future. Honey, let's talk about where we stand today. We've come a long way from the shadows of the past, but the fight for LGBTQ+ rights in America is far from over. The landscape is a mix of glittering triumphs and stubborn obstacles, especially for our transgender siblings who face unique challenges in their quest for equality. The legalization of same-sex marriage was a monumental victory, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. Discrimination, violence, and inequality continue to plague our community. In many states, LGBTQ+ individuals can still face discrimination in housing, employment, and public accommodations. While federal protections have been bolstered, they are not always consistently enforced, leaving many vulnerable. Transgender rights, in particular, have become a battleground. Our trans family members are fighting for their very existence in the face of rampant discrimination and violence. From access to healthcare to the right to use public restrooms, trans individuals are often subjected to cruel and dehumanizing treatment. Transgender women of color, in particular, face alarming rates of violence and homicide, a grim reminder of how far we have to go. In recent years, we've seen a disturbing rise in anti-LGBTQ+ legislation, particularly targeting the trans community. Bills that restrict access to gender-affirming care for minors, ban trans athletes from participating in sports, and limit the ability to update identification documents are a direct attack on our rights and dignity. These laws perpetuate a cycle of marginalization and harm, stripping away the hard-won rights of some of the most vulnerable among us. Despite these challenges, our community is resilient. We continue to fight back through activism, legal battles, and by simply living our truths. Organizations like the Human Rights Campaign, GLAAD, and the Trevor Project are at the forefront, advocating for our rights and providing essential support services. Grassroots movements and local activists are also crucial, working tirelessly to create safe and inclusive communities. Visibility and representation matter now more than ever. When we see LGBTQ+ characters on television, read about our stories in books, and hear our voices in politics, it chips away at the prejudices that fuel discrimination. We are more visible than ever, and that visibility is a powerful tool in our fight for equality. Education is another critical component. By educating the public about the realities and challenges faced by the LGBTQ+ community, we can combat ignorance and foster a culture of acceptance. This includes teaching LGBTQ+ history and issues in schools, which helps to normalize our experiences and ensure that future generations grow up in a more inclusive society. Solidarity is our strength. The intersectionality of our community means that our fight for equality is intertwined with other social justice movements. We stand with our Black, Indigenous, and people of color, BIPOC, siblings, with women, with immigrants, with all marginalized groups, knowing that our collective liberation is bound together. We cannot achieve true equality if any of us are left behind. So, my darlings, while we celebrate our victories, we must remain vigilant and relentless in our pursuit of justice. The state of gay rights in America is a testament to both our progress and the challenges that lie ahead. We draw strength from our history and our community, knowing that together, we can face whatever comes our way. Our fight is far from over, but we are fierce, we are proud, and we are unstoppable. Darling, let's delve into the heart of the matter: equality. At its core, equality means recognizing and honoring the inherent worth and dignity of every individual, regardless of their identity, background, or whom they love. It's about ensuring that everyone has the same rights, opportunities, and protections under the law and in society. Equality is not just a legal concept, it's a moral imperative, a fundamental principle that underscores our shared humanity. Equality means that we all have the right to live authentically without fear of discrimination or violence. It means that our relationships and identities are respected and valued. For the LGBTQ+ community, equality encompasses a broad spectrum of issues from marriage and family rights to healthcare, employment, and beyond. It's about dismantling the systemic barriers that have long kept us marginalized and oppressed. Our DNA is 99.9% the same, darling. This simple scientific fact underscores a profound truth: we are all part of one human family. The superficial differences are skin color, gender, sexual orientation, and cultural backgrounds are just that, superficial. They add to the rich tapestry of human experience, but they do not diminish our shared humanity. When we talk about equality, we are talking about the right of every individual to be treated with fairness, respect, and love. Human rights are universal. They are not privileges to be granted or withheld based on arbitrary criteria. Every person, by virtue of being human, is entitled to these rights. This includes the right to love whom they choose, to express their gender identity, and to live free from persecution and discrimination. Equality means that these rights are not conditional, they are intrinsic to our being. In the fight for LGBTQ+ rights, we often encounter the argument that certain rights should be limited or denied based on moral or religious grounds. But equality demands that we transcend these biases. It calls on us to recognize that our differences do not make us lesser, they make us beautifully diverse. True equality is about embracing this diversity and ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Equality also means equity, understanding that some of us face greater obstacles and need additional support to reach the same opportunities. For instance, our transgender siblings often face significant healthcare disparities and violence. Achieving equality for them means addressing these specific challenges head-on, providing the necessary resources and protections to ensure their safety and well-being. To truly achieve equality, we must also confront and dismantle the systems of power and privilege that perpetuate inequality. This involves challenging our own prejudices, educating ourselves and others, and advocating for systemic change. It's about creating a world where everyone, regardless of their identity, has the chance to live a fulfilling and dignified life. Equality is not a destination but a journey. It's an ongoing process of growth, learning, and activism. It requires us to stand in solidarity with all marginalized communities, recognizing that our struggles are interconnected. When we fight for LGBTQ+ rights, we are also fighting against racism, sexism, ableism, and all forms of oppression. In this journey, we must never lose sight of the fact that we are all one family. Our fights for justice are intertwined, and our victories are shared. By embracing equality, we honor the fundamental truth that every human being deserves to be treated with dignity, respect, and love. We are stronger together, and together, we can create a world where equality is not just an aspiration but a lived reality for all. As Yoda says, you must unlearn what you have learned. They didn't have Jedi training in drag school. Alright, loves, now let's talk about what each of us can do to make equality not just a dream, but a reality. The journey toward equality is a collective effort, requiring the participation of everyone, not just those directly affected. Here's how we can all contribute, starting with the crucial task of unlearning the homophobia that society has ingrained in us. 1. Educate yourself and others. Knowledge is power, darling. Start by educating yourself about the history and struggles of the LGBTQ+ community. Read books, watch documentaries, follow LGBTQ+ activists on social media, and stay informed about current issues. Share what you learn with your friends and family. Creating awareness is the first step toward change. 2. Challenge your own biases. We all have biases, whether we realize it or not. Take the time to reflect on your own attitudes and behaviors. When you catch yourself thinking or saying something that might be rooted in homophobia, challenge it. Ask yourself why you feel that way and work to understand the underlying prejudice. It's a process of continuous self-improvement and awareness. 3. Use inclusive language. Language matters. Make a conscious effort to use inclusive language that respects everyone's identity. Avoid assumptions about people's pronouns or relationships. Using correct pronouns and inclusive terms shows respect and recognition of others' identities. 4. Be an ally. Being an ally means standing up for LGBTQ+ rights and supporting the community. This can be as simple as speaking out against homophobic jokes or comments. Show your support by attending Pride events, donating to LGBTQ+ organizations, and advocating for policies that protect LGBTQ+ rights. Allies play a crucial role in amplifying our voices and pushing for change. 5. Support LGBTQ+ businesses and media. Put your money where your mouth is by supporting LGBTQ+ owned businesses and creators. Watch films, read books, and listen to music created by LGBTQ+ artists. This not only boosts their visibility and economic power, but also enriches your own understanding and appreciation of diverse perspectives. 6. Advocate for inclusive policies. Get involved in local and national politics. Support candidates and policies that promote LGBTQ+ equality. Write to your representatives, vote in elections, and participate in advocacy campaigns. Policy changes are essential for creating lasting equality, and your voice can make a difference. 7. Create safe spaces. Whether at home, work, or in your community, strive to create environments where LGBTQ+ individuals feel safe and respected. This can mean implementing anti-discrimination policies, providing resources and support, and fostering a culture of inclusion. 8. Educate the next generation. Teach children about diversity and inclusion from a young age. Show them that love and respect for all people are fundamental values. Schools should include LGBTQ+ history and issues in their curricula to help young people understand and accept different identities. 9. Unlearn homophobia. Unlearning homophobia is an ongoing process. It involves recognizing the ways in which society has conditioned us to view LGBTQ+ people as other. This can be through media representations, cultural norms, or religious teachings. Engage in conversations that challenge these narratives and be open to changing your perspective. 10. Stand in solidarity. Remember that the fight for LGBTQ+ rights is interconnected with other social justice movements. Stand in solidarity with other marginalized groups. Recognize the intersections of identity and support efforts to combat all forms of discrimination. Unlearning the brainwashing of homophobia. Homophobia, like all prejudices, is a learned behavior. To unlearn it, we must actively seek to understand its roots and dismantle them. This involves exposure. Surround yourself with diverse voices and stories. The more you see LGBTQ+ people as real, complex individuals, the harder it becomes to hold on to stereotypes and prejudices. Empathy. Put yourself in others' shoes. Understand the impact of homophobia on people's lives and imagine how you would feel in their place. Critical thinking. Question the sources of your beliefs. Who benefits from perpetuating homophobia? What cultural or institutional structures uphold it? Dialogue. Engage in conversations with LGBTQ+ individuals and allies. Listen to their experiences and perspectives without judgment. By taking these steps, we can collectively create a world where equality is not just a goal but a reality. Remember, my darlings, change starts with each one of us. By unlearning homophobia and actively working toward inclusion, we can build a society where everyone, regardless of who they are or whom they love, is treated with dignity and respect. Together, we can make equality not just a dream, but our shared reality.
All right, honey, let's wrap it up. I have to be on stage in 5. I'm doing my favorite Margarita Monday piece and then I'm voting in the primary. You know who I'll be voting for, darling. Same person you should be voting for if you celebrate and support LGBT+ rights. As we wrap up our journey through the fight for LGBTQ+ rights and equality, remember this:
the heart of our struggle, the essence of our activism, is love. Love for ourselves, love for each other, love for our friends and families and our supporters, and love for the world we are striving to create. Equality is not just an abstract ideal, it's a tangible goal that we can achieve through collective action, understanding, and unwavering support. In this ever-evolving landscape, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the challenges. But every step we take, no matter how small, is a step towards a brighter, more inclusive future. Here are some final thoughts on how we can continue to champion equality. 1. Celebrate progress, acknowledge struggles. We must celebrate our victories, like the historic Supreme Court ruling on same-sex marriage, as milestones that highlight our progress. At the same time, we need to remain vigilant and aware of the ongoing struggles that many in our community face, particularly transgender individuals and people of color. Awareness and action must go hand in hand. 2. Foster empathy and understanding. Empathy is the foundation of equality. By fostering genuine understanding and compassion, we break down the barriers of prejudice and fear. Take the time to listen to people's stories, to see the world through their eyes, and to stand with them in solidarity. 3. Build inclusive communities. Inclusivity starts at home, in our schools, workplaces, and neighborhoods. Advocate for policies and practices that promote inclusion and respect. Whether it's implementing anti-bullying programs in schools, ensuring fair treatment in workplaces, or creating safe spaces in your community, every action counts. 4. Engage in continuous learning. The fight for equality is a lifelong commitment to learning and growth. Stay informed about the issues affecting the LGBTQ+ community and other marginalized groups. Attend workshops, participate in discussions, and seek out diverse perspectives. The more we learn, the better equipped we are to advocate effectively. 5. Lead by example. Your actions speak volumes. By living authentically and advocating for equality in your daily life, you inspire others to do the same. Be a role model of respect and inclusivity, showing through your actions that everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and love. 6. Unite for collective action. There is strength in numbers. Join forces with organizations and movements that advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and other social justice causes. Collective action amplifies our voices and increases our impact. Together, we can drive the systemic changes needed to achieve true equality. 7. Embrace intersectionality. Recognize that our identities and struggles are interconnected. Fight for a world where all forms of discrimination are challenged and all voices are heard. Support initiatives that address the unique needs of different communities within the LGBTQ+ spectrum and work towards a comprehensive vision of justice. 8. Practice self-care and community care. Activism can be exhausting, and the fight for equality is a marathon, not a sprint. Take care of yourself and support those around you. Building a strong, resilient community requires that we look out for each other's well-being, offering support and solidarity in times of need. In conclusion, the journey towards equality is fueled by love, sustained by solidarity, and driven by a shared vision of a just world. Each of us has a role to play in this journey. Whether through education, advocacy, or simple acts of kindness, our contributions are invaluable. Let us continue to stand together, uplift each other, and strive for a future where every person, regardless of their identity, can live with dignity, respect, and love. So, my beautiful people, let's keep marching, keep fighting, and keep loving. We are one family, one race, united in our diversity and stronger together. Together, we can create a world where equality is not just an aspiration, but a reality for all. Thank you for watching. Our channel, known as the Renaissance Spirit, is dedicated to the pursuits of a just, equitable, and humanitarian world. Video topics encompass areas including history, politics, religion, personal development, society, culture, social and environmental justice, and other topics of liberal arts and sciences, including ancient Rome and the Roman Empire, which is a great comparison and contrast of the modern world. Topics perfect for the true modern polymath. The Renaissance ushered in a golden age and the pursuit of knowledge both lost to time and yet to be discovered. It gave birth to the Enlightenment and the Age of Reason. Embracing truth, knowledge, and an understanding and compassion for humanity and our shared history opens up the world to each of us, individually, and improves all of humanity, affording us the opportunity to be better stewards of the earth and to each other. The Renaissance Spirit, more than just a philosophy or style, but a style for living, learning, growing, and thinking. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, and share. If you're looking to explore and experience what life has to offer, I'm sure you'll enjoy the other videos on my channel. Please peruse, and let me know in the comments what you get out of them and what other videos you'd like to see. But first, please take the quiz next to see if you're a Renaissance Spirit.